We all know that programs can contain bugs. But what if someone says that the Python programming language itself has bugs? Sounds strange, right? Well, there's only one way to find out. So without wasting any time, let's look at 5 different examples and see if it's actually true or not. Modifying a list while iterating. First, we'll create a list and then iterate through every element of the list. And after comparing, we'll remove the element from the list within the loop, and then we'll print the list. So as you can see that only one occurrence of 2 is removed, not the other one. So let's see what happened. Here I'm looping over a list and removing items at the same time. But notice this, some elements get skipped. That's because when you remove an item, Python shifts the list indices immediately. The loop doesn't restart or recheck, it just moves forwards. Python didn't break. The list changed while we were walking through it. Mutable default arguments. Okay, so here I'm defining a function called addItem. I'm giving it two parameters. The first one is item and the second one is items of an empty list. Okay, inside the function I append item to the list items and then I'll return it. Now, if I call this function a few times with different values, you might expect that every call starts with a fresh empty list. But watch this. When I print the result, the list keeps growing across calls. Why does this happen? Well, in Python, default argument values are created only once when the function is defined, not each time it's called. That means every call to this function is using the same list in memory, adding to it again and again. It feels like a bug at first, but Python is actually doing exactly what it was designed to do. It remembers the default value you gave it. Equality versus identity. Here, I have two variables with the same value. Now, if I compare them with equal, Python returns true, but if I compare them with is, it sometimes returns false. That might be confusing at first, that why would two equal values not be the same? Well, equal to checks for value equality, but is checks if the two variables point to the same object in memory. Sometimes Python reuses objects for small values or optimizations, and sometimes it doesn't. So even though the number looks identical, Python treats them differently. This is not a bug. Late binding in loops. Now, I'm creating a loop and defining functions inside it. Each function captures the loop variable. I expect each function to remember its own value from the loop, but when I call them all after the loop, they all return the same value, the last one. Why? Because Python uses late binding. The function doesn't save the loop variable when it's created. It looks up the value only when it's called. By the end of the loop, only the last value exists. So every function uses the same value. Python isn't broken, it's just looking up the variable at the execution time. Floating point precision error. So let's just print 0.1 plus 0.2 equals 0.3. Now you may be expecting that the answer of it should be true, right? But it's actually false. Here's why. So what happens is that Python shows 0.3000 and so on when we add 0.1 plus 0.2. This seems wrong at first, but it's actually normal. Python stores numbers in binary, not decimal. Some decimal numbers like 0.1 cannot be represented exactly in binary, just like 1/3 cannot be written perfectly in decimal. So 0.1 plus 0.2 doesn't exactly equal 0.3. It's just a tiny difference in precision. Python isn't broken, it's following the rules of floating point math. In conclusion, none of these were syntax error, none of them crashed the program, and that's exactly what makes them dangerous. Python didn't break the rules, it followed them. If you understand how Python handles memory, variables, and numbers, these bugs stop being scary and start being predictable. So the next time your code runs perfectly but feels wrong, pause. It might not be you, it might just be Python being Python. So that was it for today's video. If you liked the video, give this video a huge thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching.